On today's show, we'll be making a lamb and vegetable fusion. That's right, lamb and vegetables that are infused with so many herbs and spices that will have your taste buds dancing and singing.
All right, for our lamb and vegetable fusion, we are going to need our vegetables. So some of the vegetables, it's important that they are roasted, or you don't have to. You can saute them in a pan, but I like them roasted. So I have here fennel, a bulb of fennel. Yep, and you actually could use the tops, and I'm just going to use the bottom right now. I may use the tops for garnish. So I'm just going to cut the tops off. And I'm going to put them right here on the side. And you know, you want to check your outsides and see if they are usable. But since this is going to be roasted, I can use them. So I'm just going to cut that in half. And this part, which is tough right there in the middle, you want to go ahead and take that out. So I'm going to use my knife and just cut that down. There we are. Done. Easy peasy. Now you can cut out more of that if you like, but just gonna cut that out. All right. All right, and then I'm just gonna cut down the middle, and here we go. And we'll just finish with this last half of the fennel. There we are. And fennel also has another name of anise. And it has that licorice smell and taste. It's very aromatic. You can eat it raw, you can eat it roasted, sauteed, any way you'd like. I have it here, and what I'm gonna do is gonna put a little olive oil on it, little salt and pepper, and then I'm just gonna mix it up. And you're gonna wonder at the end, why didn't I just chop up all the vegetable and put it on the tray at the same time? And the reason that I'm not doing that is because the rainbow carrots are a rainbow of color, and I like to keep them that way. No, sometimes the purple carrot can bleed, so I didn't want it to bleed. I want it to be a beautiful dish. I'm just gonna chop these baby rainbow carrots in half. Now, they come in a pack like this, or you can buy them and you can cut them up yourself. And I have peeled these. Isn't that beautiful? Look at this. Gorgeous. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and finish cutting these up. And here I am almost finished. There we are. Gonna do the same thing to the carrots. Drizzle a little oil, little salt, a little fresh ground pepper. I use garlic infused olive oil, and I use it because I love garlic. I love the aroma, I love the taste. And so these carrots and the fennel, even though they're not cooked, smell just delicious. It smells so yummy good. All right, now, you see I'm holding on to that little one, should I? Okay. So I'm going to take my tomatoes, which are just some cherry tomatoes, and you don't want to overdo it with the tomatoes, and I'm just going to roll them around in the bowl. That's why I save them for last. Okay, now that we have all of that done, I'm going to put this into the oven so they can roast, and then we'll get started on our lamb. Now, I'm using the lamb from the rack that I just sliced up and got 4 little small cute pieces. And then I have the lamb loin chops. Now, if you were using the lamb shoulder, you can't mess that up. You know, it's very forgivable. So you can't overcook it, undercook it, so forth. But I like these pieces. They cook very quickly and they are tender, but you have to watch them. So I am going to salt and pepper and oil them. That's all these need. Not much at all. The lamb loin chops will finish in the fusion. However, the lambs from the rack, they'll finish right here on the pan. So I'm going to just drizzle some of that oil. Delicious. I get so excited when I'm making this, and so does my family, because it's quick and easy. Great appetizer, these lamb from the rack, and they think they could just eat it before dinner is done. But when I make this particular dish, I do make them wait, because you'll see why. All right, so we've got those nicely seasoned. A little bit more oil so they won't stick. I'm gonna drizzle oil here in the pan. And there we have the smoke, which is ensuring me that it is time. Okay, so we're gonna put a lamb chop on there and a lamb chop there. Let's see. Now, even though I'm using a grill pan, which you would look for grill marks, I'm not looking for the grill marks per se, more than just the searing of them. So we're going to put those on. We got one more. Let's lay that one that way. And lamb is usually cooked to medium rare. You don't cook it well done, or it's just, you know, too tough to eat. At least these parts are. So I'm going to get my hands washed up, and we will flip those over when we think they're ready. And like I say, we're just looking for a sear on both sides, and then we're going to get those in the oven as well. All right, let's check on our lamb. All right, it's looking really nice. Look at that one. Beautiful. Let's check. These should be, oh, they are. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? And that. Now, we're going to get this into our preheated oven, which we are going to now turn off, because the lamb does not need to cook. It just needs to sit into a warm place. So we're going to turn that off, sit this here to wait until we are ready to pot the rest of the dish and prepare it for ourselves. So I'll see you in just a few minutes. Hi, Chef Renee here. You can now watch Simply Fresh Food with Chef Renee directly from your computer, tablet, or phone. Just visit us at www.wintv.org. Go to What's New on WinTV, then select WinTV On Demand. Then click Simply Fresh Food with Chef Renee. You can watch any episode you'd like, going all the way back to season 1. So throw out your TVs and check us out online. Huh? Just kidding. Don't throw out your TVs. I didn't say that. Now I have a pot on, I've drizzled some oil in. We're just gonna let that get hot. These are the vegetables that we are going to be adding to the pot that will mix with the other liquids and get it going. So I'm going to add here the onion, and that is one whole onion that's cut up. This is going to be a really, really tasty, flavorful dish. You're going to love it. So all the work is going to be worth it. All right, so we have here some frozen peas. I thawed the peas in hot salted water. I didn't blanch them. I just put some hot salted water on them. So we've got these nice, beautiful green peas. We also have some dried whole cherries. They're very tart, but they taste absolutely delicious and balance off the dried apricots. There we go. I've diced these up but left the dried cherries whole, but I have diced up the apricots. Beautiful. I also have here black Corinth grapes. They're sweet, they're small, and these will actually stay inflated just as they are. So let's get our garlic in to the pot now. The reason I did not add the garlic in the beginning with the onions is because I did not want the garlic to burn, and garlic will burn easily. So now, just as it is aromatic, I'm smelling up this whole place. It smells so good. I'm gonna dump in just all of the sprigs of thyme in there. All right? We're gonna get this full of flavor. All right, so we've got our thyme in there. I'm gonna give it just a few more moments. And while I'm waiting, I'm gonna chop up my cilantro here. Now, you can use dried cilantro at this point if you'd like, but I'm gonna use the fresh cilantro because I like fresh. And then in the end, I'll use it to garnish. So let's just get this chopped up a bit. You can also use parsley. Now, it doesn't have the taste of cilantro, but there are people out there, so I hear, who don't like cilantro. I don't know any of those people, but but you can use cilantro or parsley in its place. So this is what we're gonna do here. All right, and I'm sure that my pot is ready. I'm going to add the cilantro in. All that yummy goodness. Woohoo. Lost a few. We're gonna stir. Okay, now you talk about flavor. Woo, woo, can you smell that? Okay, so we got our cilantro in. I'm going to add the apricots. And I'm going to add the cherries. And I'm going to add the grapes. We are saving the peas for last. Oh, look at that. Just fabulous. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, that is wonderful. Now that everything's in, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 1 cup of wine. Now, the wine that I have chosen to use in this dish is because it's lamb, I have a Burgundy in there. You can use any red wine you'd like, but it probably should be a dry red wine. And I just happen to love Burgundy, but I do like, well, I love the Pinot Noir grapes, and Burgundy is made from the Pinot Noir grapes. So I'm gonna turn that down a little bit there and just let that wine, just let it flavor everything, and gonna let it reduce just a little bit. Now, just prior to me adding the wine, let's say you wanted a thick sauce, because this sauce isn't gonna be really thick. If you wanted a thick sauce, before adding the wine, add about a tablespoon or 2 of flour. Mix that all in with the vegetables and things. It'll cover them, coat them, everything. And then add your wine after you've thoroughly mixed in the flour. And then it will start to thicken it up. Now, once that red wine cooks down, I'm going to add the beef broth to it. And then we are done with the liquids for this. We're gonna put the top on just for a few moments. So let me check and see how it's going. Wonderful. It is cooking down nicely. And the leaves are going to come off of the thyme sprigs. So that's why I'm not worried about that. Oh, it smells so good, smells so good. All right, they look beautiful. The wine has reduced and the thyme leaves are just falling and some have fallen all off of the sprigs. That is wonderful. This is a perfect time. I'm going to add my beef broth to this. There we are. Now, once I have my beef broth in there, and it's really just to infuse all of the flavors, I'm going to then add back in the lamb chops. Remember, I told you they'll finish in this. I'm going to pump that back up a little bit because we do want it to get hot. Let me get our lamb. And look at that beautiful, gorgeous lamb. There we are. Fantastic. All right, so the lamb we're going to put in to finish, the lamb loin chops. Fabulous. And I'm going to add the lid to this. Let's find that lid. Now, the reason I'm adding the lid is, of course, to bring everything back up to a boil and everything get heated. And then we're going to add in, remember our roasted vegetables? Voila, look at that. Beautiful, isn't it? Rainbow carrots, fennel, there's the garnish, the fennel topping, and roasted tomatoes. And then these are, of course, our lamb on the rack. We're going to wait just a moment before we add the peas because we do want them to stay nice and beautiful green. We're going to add some of those veggies on top of here along with the peas, and then we will start to plate. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will begin to plate this delicious lamb and vegetable fusion. I will see you in just a few moments. We've improved from season 1 to 3 in ways such as we are a more cohesive group. So we have our meetings, we're all on our A game, we're all involved, and we've produced something fantastic.
Hi, I'm Vivi Chinolis, and I'm the technical director. And we've improved the show since season 1 by new camera placement and angles and new lighting, and just always trying to improve to make this the best show possible.
Hi, my name is Angela Spence. I'm the Associate Producer of Simply Fresh Foods with Chef Renee. Let's see, how have we progressed in season 1? One of the biggest things I think is we're trying so many different types of food, not just domestically, but we're traveling the globe, trying different flavors and spices from all around the world, and that's been really exciting for me.
I'm looking forward to season 3. We've got a lot of new ideas, not just my own, but those of the staff and everyone that we're going to incorporate into every show, making it different, unique, and something that everyone can be really, really proud of. I look forward to that. All right, so it looks as though this has cooked down nicely, which is perfect. That's what we want. So now it's time to add some of the vegetables and the green peas. I know you're shouting, oh, my favorite, my favorite. Okay, let's put them in here. They are so gorgeous. And we are going to add some of these beautiful roasted vegetables. Now, if you want, and if the pot were bigger, you could add all of the vegetables. It's not like there are going to be any left because roasted vegetables are so delicious. So we're going to add in some of the fennel. Let me move my beautiful garnish. Here, let's get some of this stuff up. Scoop some real style. All right, let's put some fennel in there. I love roasted. Oh, look at there, we lost one. Found it. And we're gonna put some tomatoes in there, some roasted tomatoes. Aren't they just beautiful? And then we will put some carrots in there. I think this part was my husband's most favorite part of the entire dish, okay? There we are. Now, let's put that. All right, so I'm going to put the lid on, but the only reason I'm putting the lid on is just to bring the carrots, the fennel, and the roasted tomatoes back up to temperature. That's it. And it gives me enough time to get my bowl ready to dig in. All right, so we'll put this there. And let's move out the bowl. Yay! All right. You know, my aunt used to say that all the time. She'd call us and she'd always say, she said, Renee. So it made me think of her. So now you're saying, well, what did she have that little thing for? Well, I already have prepared the rice and I'm gonna show you how I'm going to prepare it in this dish, all right? So we're gonna take the lid off. I'm gonna scoop out some of the rice. You know what, let me use this for my rice. I'm gonna scoop some rice in there. And I'm gonna pat it down. Now, you can use like a basmati rice or some type like that that's sticky, and it will make this so much easier. So, I have the rice here. I'm just going to flip that back over. And how beautiful is that? Everybody's gonna just love it. Even when it starts to fall apart, they're still gonna love it. All right, so then we open up our pot. Everything is now nice and hot. So we're gonna plate now. And yes, it's gonna fall apart, but that's okay. You saw how it was supposed to look. Okay, so here we are. All right, so we have that, and before I finish, I just want to chop up a little cilantro. All right, and we'll just sprinkle a little bit there. Save that. And here, we're gonna add our beautiful, oh, let's see. And there, look at that beautiful mountain of food. Now, it's quite all right if you just want one, you want to lay it sideways and you want to put it on a plate and do all that other stuff, but this is the way I want it. All right, so I'm gonna dig in, but before I do, I wanna thank all of my sponsors today. I wanna thank the new sponsor joining us this week. Thank you, Newgate Farms, welcome. And I wanna thank you for having me into your homes. I am going to dig into this, and I will see you next time.
Simply Fresh Food with Chef Renee is sponsored by Newgate Farms, with farms located in Connecticut and New York. Woolrath Cookware. Check them out online at Woolrath University. And Red Tail Heart, available online or at your local bookstore.
Simply Fresh Food with Chef Renee to learn new delicious recipes. Watch as I show you how to use fresh ingredients for healthy eating at every meal. Check your local listings for showtimes.